What if I told you that one shift in how you watch videos could make your edits 10 times more powerful? No fancy gear, no hours of learning new software, and no fancy editing tricks. Just by seeing your footage differently. Stick with me and I'll show you how this tiny change can instantly transform your videos. By the way, I'm Joe. I've edited countless videos, including high-end commercials and TV shows that air on Amazon Prime and other streaming platforms. I think about this stuff all day long. Let's break it down. What do I mean when I say once you see this? As a video editor, you have to look through different what I call lenses. For example, when you look at how well your shots are framed, you ignore everything else, like colors, or rhythm, or story, only focusing on the visual composition of the shot. Or when you focus on how the footage makes the viewer feel, you don't look at composition or framing, looking through the emotion lens, if you know what I mean. There are many lenses that you can choose to look at your footage, but one lens that changed the way I look at video is movement. This is at the core of video. This is what video is all about. To understand it a little bit better, there are three variations when it comes to video. The camera moves, but the subject is still, or the subject moves and the camera is still, or both the camera and the subject moves together. If the camera or the subject doesn't move, it's basically a photo and not a video. For it to be video, something has to move. But the question is, how will this improve your videos and the way you look at it? It's not only about movement, it's how it moves and connects to one another. For video to feel natural, the movement needs to continue between shots. How does the motion or the movement in shot A continue into shot B? Let's look at some examples. So in this example, the shot moves from left to right in shot A and right to left in shot B, the total opposite. This is very disorienting because there's no sense of flow. Let's change the direction to flow from one shot into another. See how the movement in the shots are now consistent. When shots next to each other move in opposite directions, something feels off. It feels jarring. But what if we don't have a shot that flows in the same direction as the previous shot? We can always add a shot that goes up or down, or a push-in shot or a pull-out shot before we add a new direction to the flow. For example, this shot moves from right to left. The next shot moves up. Now we can add a shot that moves from left to right. This gives a more natural break in the movement. When you watch your favorite show, pause between the cuts and study the flow between the shots. But don't stop there. Even though the flow and direction is super important, there's another element to consider. It's the speed of the movement. This determines the overall cadence or rhythm of the video. To match the momentum, look for shots with similar speed. You can always slow some shots down or speed some shots up, but try to keep it consistent. When choosing a transition between shots, the same rule applies. How fast is the transition relative to the movement of the shot? For example, this shot moves from left to right. If I add a transition that moves from right to left, it feels off. It feels much more natural the opposite way. Now that you understand movement and flow, how do you actually train your eye to see it? One of the best exercises is to practice to edit something only using movement as your guide. Label the movements like this. Was the camera moving, the subject, or both? And forget everything else for a moment. Once you start seeing this, you'll never edit the same way again. Editing is not just about cutting, it's about seeing, it's about looking through different kinds of lenses. Movement is one of the most important lenses that an editor can develop. Drop a comment below and let me know what you discovered. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.